What's up, everybody? Keith with Profit Lifter. Today, we are going to be covering marketing structures. I was going to keep working on what we were previously talking about, but my good friend over at Credit Suite, Mr. Alex Freeze, created a massive, massive mess for us with talking about this new system and all this stuff that is available for that's available to clients. So, um, actually, I forgot to go live in the group. Hold on just a second. 1 second here. One second. Okay, so I think it should help now that we're actually live in the group. So those of you guys who were hanging out with me, give me a hi. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you're hanging out. And for those of you guys over on YouTube, sorry about that. I forgot to click the buttons that need to click to make things work. All right, so let's go back to the intro. We're going to recap. So what we're doing today is we were originally I was gonna keep going down this AI call call bot, but my ADHD took control and I found something else really cool that I want to talk about. And this is mainly because of my good friend Mr. Alex Freeze. Um, this is where he has been talking about this a couple cool new tools that are out there, and I wanted to extend the conversation that we had for last week about different structures, different tools that are available, and show you guys everything and help you understand how different marketing tools fit inside of your customer journey because with all the stuff that's out there now, there's a lot of things that you can get into. There's a lot of people that are saying, "Hey, this one thing's going to revolutionize your life." You know, we've all heard it, we've all seen it. So what we're going to do is we're going to break down what this actually looks like on what this actually looks like inside of a campaign structure for you. So if you're joining me, give me a hi. Let me know that you're here. Help me get things boosted inside of our algorithm here. Show Facebook and YouTube that you love me and that we're having fun over here. So today, like I said, today we're going to be talking about some different tools, how they impact your business, where they fall inside of your customer journey, best utilize them, and some different ideas on using all these hundreds, or it seems like thousands of tools every day are being thrown at you. And so we're going to look at this, break it down, show you where it fits inside of our customer journey here. Will, Don, hey Don, good to see you on here. Will, happy that you're here today as well. Love seeing you guys here. Hope you're having an amazing Thursday. So what we're going to be so what prompted this is my good friend Alex Freeze just kind of threw a monkey wrench in everything that we were doing by talking about this company, talking about a service that actually installs a pixel on your website and identifies users. So the reason this got prompted is because of this. I've had about 7 conversations in the past week with people about how these different services match. On top of that, like with AI tools, like I'm constantly being asked, "Hey, how does this AI tool work? Where can I use this? Where does this fit into everything that we're working on?" So I want to start breaking. I want to be breaking that down for you. I want to be able to help you with this process of understanding how all this stuff works together. So that way, as we're going through, as you're seeing this stuff, you can kind of categorize it like, where does this fit inside of my marketing strategy? How is this tool going to impact what I'm doing with people? and where it goes. So um, first off, let's talk about some of the tools that are showing up for everybody right now. The biggest one, obviously, being AI. Like AI is just dominating the conversation and just about everything that's happening. So we're going to put over here AI tools. Now, one thing that I want you to understand, AI will fit into a lot of different categories. And a lot of the tools that we're talking about are going to kind of transcend just one part of the journey. But what we need to understand is how they fit into these journeys. So we're going to be talking about AI tools here. That's going to be one of them. The next one is we're going to call this next one. We're going to give it some space here. We're going to call this resolution. And let's that's industry specific terms. Let's call it identification. Um, Website identification. So this is the website identification. These are pixels that people that will identify traffic, will identify campaigns based on that are going to that identify things based on somebody showing up on your website. It's actually an incredibly cool service. So before we jump into the AI tools, let's dig into this. Let's dig into this identification service a little bit more. I know those of you guys who are Credit Suite partners, Alex Fries had just talked about this, but I want to help. I want to help shed some light on it because next week I actually have somebody who offers this service joining us live to be talking about it. As well, I'm also finally getting my SEO dad in here to help out to explain SEO services and working through that as well. So we've got a lot of really cool things that we've been talking about that are getting ready to start coming to life for you. So first off, what is it? What is the website identification? What does this look like? What does it do? How does it work? So the first thing to understand is this is a newer technology. This is literally something that has come about within the past year, maybe 2 years, but it's really starting to gain traffic and traction and starting to get important. I'm sorry, I'm in the Midwest. We're under like incredible pollen. It's ridiculous. Allergies are flaring today. All right, so let's talk about this website identification. The way this works is you install a pixel on your website. And what a pixel is, it's really just a short code that goes inside of like usually the header of your website. What the code does is it performs a certain function based off of what the activities that it defines. So with these website identification pixels, what they do is when someone lands on your website, it identifies the visitor based off of key data. Now, obviously, if like somebody's coming to your website, it doesn't have it's not going to say, "Oh, this is Keith Knapp from Profit Lifter showing up on my website." Like it doesn't say that just from somebody organically going to your website. So what it's looking at is there's a lot of different ways that these companies are able to identify the website traffic, and this can be off of like device ID. It could be off of location. There's thousands of ways that it's able to identify the traffic. So what these companies have done is they set it up. It's Hey James, good to see you. Happy Thursday, my friend. So what these companies have done, they've actually come in and they've figured out that they're able to identify the traffic based off of this pixel. And so what's happening is when they land, the pixel is firing. Basically, it's saying, "Hey, here's this person. Here's the information that's available to everyone." Then they compare that against their database. And so their database, what they've done is they've gone out and they've collected data from like Equifax, Experian, TransUnion, American Express, like these massive corporations that have all this data on clients. So they're either purchasing it or They have like co-op agreements, things like that, where they're going to have access to all this data. Now, what this means is that when somebody lands on your website, it's able to take that device ID, the location, any of the identifiers that they're looking at, and compare that with the database, and then deliver to you their name, their email address, their phone number. Actually, a lot of these companies have thousands of data points that they're able to get connected with, meaning that there are some people that can get you credit scores depending on if it's available. They can get you if they own a home, if they own a car, if they're looking to buy a car, like all this intense information that's out there that's available just because they purchased it. Now, if you want to hear my critical side of life, the things that I find amusing, like I like watching like news channels, things like that, because I'm old now. That's what we do. Then like I hear people say, my privacy, my privacy. I'm deep enough in the marketing world to understand that you really there's not like they don't collect your social security number. They're not collecting anything that's like personally identifiable, that they're going to steal your identity. But your information is everywhere. It's just all over the place. It's out there. There's no hiding it. You can't take it back. It's just kind of is what it is. And that's okay. Like we're going to use that for our benefit because we're entrepreneurs. That's out there. So this website identification information, it's grabbing it, so they land, the pixel's grabbing their information, it's identifying the visitor, it's grabbing that information from the database, and then it's going to deliver it. It's going to deliver it to you. Um, and a lot of times this is instant, like it's happening in a matter of seconds that this is happening. Now, where there's a couple things that you want to be cognizant of, and we'll dive into this more next week when we have our visitor on. That's going to be showing us really what this looks like and how all this functions. But what where you have to be careful, and where things where like the quality inside of these types of industries start to deviate really happens here under the database, meaning that the companies that have the most data, like if they've got hundreds of millions, or multiple millions of records, they're usually going to be a lot more accurate because there's more data to compare. There's more places to pull it from. The other thing that you want to look for is like what kind of identifiers does this have? Meaning that like if you're getting into the conversation with somebody, or if you're looking at the data, what information do you need from them? Now, where the reason this prompted this live today is, like, I was having a conversation with one of our clients that we're running ads for, and he was like, "Hey, I want to add this too." And I asked him, I'm like, "Why do you want to run this?" Because it's a legitimate question. We want to find out how is this relevant? Because he's like, "I want more traffic." The thing to understand is with these services, these do not impact your traffic. This has nothing to do with traffic. This is solely responsible for opt-in engagement, meaning that once somebody has come to your website, once traffic's been driven there, these services are going to identify the people that are coming to your website. Do I think this is valuable? Incredibly valuable. I think this is one of the coolest services that I've seen. And if you want to know a little secret, I was actually working on moving over into this when the Profit Lifter opportunity came up. The gentleman that you guys are going to meet next week, he's actually in the group with us here. Him and I, we helped build out his brand, get everything up and going. I was working with him, and then Profit Lifter came up. I'm like, this is way more in my wheelhouse. He's still rocking and rolling with it, selling this to enterprise level companies like Harley Davidson, places like that. So like I've been watching his progress. Actually, I literally just talked to him 5 minutes before I went live here, which is part of the reason I was a little late. But there's a huge market for this, and there's a lot of need for it. But where this fits in is this isn't necessarily a traffic campaign. This is going to be an engagement campaign, meaning that now when somebody comes to your website, you're able to identify them, and now you can start setting up custom campaigns specific to this action. And what this may look like is like if somebody gets identified, you can send them a cold email. It's not even really a cold email because they shouldn't know about you. They were literally just on your website. But you can send an email that goes, "Hey, I saw that you were interested in business credit. Let me show you how this works. Check out this free video." And so you can grab those people and you can start to engage them based off of this. The other reason this is so powerful and so effective in everything that you're doing is that if you are running ads, and let's say you've got a 50% opt-in rate, which is pretty good. If you've got a 50% opt-in rate, that means you're only collecting information on 50% of the people. Now, let me tell you the one thing that most people who are running ads won't tell you. That when somebody opts in, it doesn't providing accurate information. So with this service now, you can identify people who are opting in, you can look at it, and from there, you can verify their information through your pixel. Not only that, but the other 50% who haven't opted in, now you can start collecting information on them as well and get them into your custom campaigns and start working with them through the process to be able to get the engagement, to be able to move them along into the sales consideration phase. And so that like this tool is a phenomenal tool, but you need to know where it fits, because if you try putting this in and going, oh, I'm going to just drive traffic and I'm going to get people through my pixel, doesn't really have an impact. It doesn't really make that kind of splash that gets somebody to go, oh yay, this is wonderful, this is the coolest thing ever. These are people that have already visited your site. You're collecting information because they took an action there. So understanding this, understanding where these services fit is critical. So any questions on the website identification, on the traffic conversion? And if you guys are wondering, the company that Alex was talking about is called leadpost.com. I've known about these guys for a while. It's okay. One thing that I'm not a huge fan of that they do is they have this set monthly pricing where they'll say, we'll give you up to 1,000 leads that we'll identify for like $650 a month, or 1,500 for 900. It's a bit pricey. The gentleman that you guys are going to be meeting, this is actually from leadslocator.com. This is the website I helped them set up, and looks great. But you can see they've got it right here. Their pricing is considerably different. And so like when Daryl comes on, I'll let you guys, you'll be able to have questions with him and be able to ask him directly on the live, and we'll open it up for Q&As. So that's some of the website identification, how all that works. Now, let's talk about your AI tools. Let's start diving into some of these, because these are starting to become a lot more prevalent in the marketplace. Like, I don't know about you guys, I'm constantly being bombarded with AI tools, with different people saying newest, greatest, best thing ever. It's better than sliced bread. So let's break these down. Let's start talking about these, and let's look at how this can actually impact your business. Sorry, I'm playing around with the font sizes here. All right. So first off, some of the AI tools that we're seeing right now are specific to running traffic. These can be things. Let's see. What are some of the companies? ZoomInfo isn't really an AI tool. What's the company? And my brain just froze up on this. There's another company out there like ZoomInfo that works. While my brain's trying to remember what that is, I'm clicking too many buttons here. While my brain's trying to remember what that is, we're gonna come up here. We're gonna label this as traffic tools up here. So some of the things that we're going to be looking at with this traffic tools wise, this is going to be, one of these is going to be a ZoomInfo. Man, it's like right there at the tip of my tongue. I'll think of it here in a second. So let's talk about how some of these different tools work and where it kind of fits into your strategy. So ZoomInfo, Zoom Info is literally a list builder, is really what it comes down to. Where this fits in is basically you're able to log in. You can create conversations with people. You can really dig into the list. You can figure out like who's looking for specific information. It's really in its full impact a list builder. Now, anytime you're looking at anything that has to do with list building, with cold outreach, things like that, that's just going to cover one side of this, meaning that with the list builder, it's going to give you the list. But the other things that you have to think about is like once you have that list, what are you going to do with it? So if I come to you and I go, hey, I've got a list of 1,000 people, you're going to be like, I want that list. I want to engage that list. When you buy a cold list, you have to be careful with it. Like your profit lifter system is not going to handle cold emails, because as soon as you start getting spam requests, people are going to hit you. So you're still going to need a delivery method. Like, how are you going to reach out to these people? And a lot of times that's where it gets into like cold email campaigns, having different domain names that you're using for them to be able to reach out to them, to be able to get them to opt in. The other thing that this list engagement or this list building is good for, though, is you can start setting up retargeting lists from this. Meaning that, like, if you buy a list, and let's say you've got a list of 20,000 business owners that make between $100,000 and $5 million, and they've been in business for 2 years, and you like narrow it down. You're like, okay, I've got my list of 5,000 that I want to target. Now you can actually put those into a custom list inside of Facebook or Google, and you can start retargeting those people specifically based off of this list. Now, where sometimes this gets a little bit wonky. That's the technical term, in case you didn't know, is wonky. But where this starts getting wonky is like if you're looking at companies like Zoom Info, and man, I cannot remember that other company's name. Just thought of it. Seamless.ai. Thank you. Thank you, brain. Finally worked. So Seamless AI. If you're looking at that, if you're looking at Seamless AI, or you're looking at Zoom Info, where this starts to become a little more cumbersome is that when you're collecting that data from these companies, it's going to be giving you business information, meaning that it's going to you may get business emails, business phone numbers, things like that. Where if you're running Google ads or you're running Facebook ads, you're trying to reach out to them on social media, and they're probably more than likely just using their personal information. But it still works amazingly for setting up these retargeting campaigns, doing cold email blasts, and getting people and really targeting it. But the one thing that you want to keep in mind is as you're working on this for like cold traffic and getting people aware of who your business is, these are going to be cold sales. Like, they don't know you, they didn't request any information. You're really having to go out there and target them, and then be a little more specific. So I like to say this is more of your sniper campaign, meaning that you're targeting them. You have pulled a list that they fit inside of, and you know that they're looking for this information. Because when you're engaging with like Seamless.ai, or you're looking at Zoom Info, they're pulling up buyer intent based off of what somebody's looking for. And so what you know that they're looking for what you're selling. So you can look up campaigns of people that are looking for business credit cards or business credit lines, things that are specific to what you're offering. But this is going to be very targeted, so it's very much a sniper campaign, opposed to like if you're and we're just going to put this in here just for the fun of it. If you're running ads on like social media, Google ads, things like that, the more traditional side of things, these companies, these types of campaigns are going to be more of blast or awareness campaigns, just basically saying, hey, you kind of meet our demographics of what we're looking for. Here's what we do. Here's what we offer. And then you hope that, and then you craft a message that gets them to opt in, to engage, to consume your content, and move from there. So understanding the difference of these is I think incredibly helpful, because like let's take a step back here. A lot of the things that you're going to see from a lot of the things that you're going to be seeing from people as you start exploring these are going to be based off of they're going to come in, they're going to say it's the only thing you need. That's not true. A lot of times when you're getting going, you have to look at, where is my business at? So if you end up talking with Alex at Credit Suite, he's going to be incredibly specific about like all these ancillary tools. Why? Because they're already running Facebook ads, they're already running Google ads, they're already working on their SEO. They already have all these other traffic mechanisms wrapped around their marketing system. So all of these things that they're bringing to you, like the website identification, are really just enhancing what is already being done. And so as you get into advertising, as you get into marketing, and you start looking at like different ways that you want to run traffic, you need to be thinking about like, where is my minimum threshold? What do I want to do right now? And then what am I going to add on top of that? Meaning that you may get into it, and like what I always advise is like, start with social media. And the reason I say start with social media is really simple. It's got a lot of different benefits to it. It's not just about getting leads, but it's also about list building. So you can start retargeting people when you go live. You can get people to like your page, to engage with your page, to build your audience, make them very easy to access, just basically at a click of a button, which is, it's very helpful for you in this process. But as you're going through this, you want to be thinking about like, okay, if I need traffic, let's run social media ads. Let's get out there. Let's start getting things delivered. Let's get things going. But now you want to be looking at, okay, if I want a list, what am I going to do with that list? How much is going to cost me to keep it up? What does that look like in the big scheme of things? I will. One of the things that I want you to understand as well is like with these traffic tools, with this list engagement, this is a big reason why we've started building out our AI call bots, and the AI bots that we're building is so as you're getting these lists, you can start leveraging AI to handle these calls for you. Excuse me, and to handle these engagements. 1 second, my allergies are kicking up a little bit here. 1 minute. Sorry about that. Didn't want to cough in your ear. All right. So keep in mind, like as you're going through this process, you want to be thinking about, what are the different tools that we have available? Where does this fit in? Now, if you're looking at this, you also want to be thinking about multiple streams of income. Multiple streams of income from a marketing standpoint inside of your business is multiple streams of traffic. Where is the traffic coming from? Is it organic? Am I paying for it? Is it a social media ad? Is it list building? Is it click? Is it cost per click campaigns? Like all these different things all wrap around each other, and they all can drive back to this one specific area of driving traffic. Now, the other thing that you want to watch out for is like, where do some of these tools fit in? Like if you have AI tools, and let's say you're doing something with AI webinars. This isn't going to be necessarily traffic campaigns. Webinars can be used for traffic, but they're much more effective when you start getting into the sales consideration, or once you start getting into the opt-in engagement. Like, hey, you're here, opt in, down. Let's have you watch this. So understanding your different tools that are out there, and understanding where they fit inside of this big list of all these things that we're doing is going to go a long ways. But today I really wanted to show you kind of the difference and prep you for conversations that we're having next week. We're going to be diving into this website identification. And the reason I want to do this is, one, it's incredibly effective when you're running ads, as you're getting into some of your other campaigns, as you're getting into some stuff. And I'll save this for our conversation with Daryl, but there are some really cool things that you can do with an affiliate program with this stuff. But we'll get into that a little bit. We'll get into that next week as we're diving into that. But I want you to keep this in mind, like as you're seeing this stuff come across your social media feeds, as you're being retargeted, as you're starting to see this stuff as you're exploring. I want you to be thinking about, how does this fit inside of my list? Like, where does this go? How do I engage with this? How can I use this? And where does this fit into my customer journey? Because if not, what's going to happen is you're going to end up spending a massive amount of time trying to figure out, what is this? How does it work? Where does it go? How do I get it set up? And then you get into it and you realize this doesn't even do what I need it to do. And that's what you got to be careful with, especially if you're just getting into running ads. If you're just getting out there, just starting to go through the process of running ads, driving traffic, everybody's going to want to sell you everything that does all these things, and they're going to promise the world. You've got to be careful. Make sure that you're only engaging with stuff that makes sense, that fits inside what you need for right now. So how does this all wrap up as we're getting ready to end here? How does this all work? Where does this all fit in? The first thing first, if you are not running traffic, if you are not doing anything, this website identification is not going to do nothing for you. It's not going to work. It's not going to make sense for you. If you want to go into sniper campaigns, you like being on the phone, that's really kind of a preference of whoever's running the campaign. If you are just getting started, you want to start driving traffic, you want to get out there, social media and Google Ads, hands down, I still think is one of the best ways to do that. But there is something else that I've heard of that kind of falls in line with this, that I'm vetting for you guys now. That's a little bit later on down the road. That'll probably be like a month or two before that happens. But guys, just understand, any of this stuff that I'm showing you, this is stuff that I am personally incorporating into Profit Lifter as well. Like once we have the AI call bots done, all of you guys who are in my list, you're going to be hearing from our AI. I want to test it on you guys. I want you to see how it works. I want you to experience it first, so that way you can go, oh, I really like this, or I hate this, I don't want to use that. That's the whole goal of this, is to get you to that point where you can see how all of these tools work, and we'll show you how to plug them into your Profit Lifter system, where it goes, how it can help you with your engagement, how it can help you with your conversion process, so that way you can put together a strategy that works for what you're doing and how you're doing things. So, all right, guys, that's all I got for you guys for today, because today was more of a quick session. Tomorrow we'll be diving in hot and heavy. Tomorrow's Ask Me Anything. If you guys have questions, if there's things that you want answered, throw them out in the chat. Like I said, we've got I'm working on getting some guests in that we had talked about a couple weeks ago, maybe even a month ago at this point. But things are a little bit slow. I'm starting to realize, guys. I'll admit a fault here. I'm not always the best at estimating how long it's going to take to roll something out. We get into it, and then we realize, this is broken. Now we've got to fix this, and it identifies another problem. So I apologize to you guys if it seems like I've given you expectations of things to be delivered that haven't made it there yet. Some of this stuff, like the Snap-on library, all that, it's brand new. Like, there's no one else out there doing it. So like, I'm having to learn, where does this fit? Where do things? How does it all tie in together? The AI calls is another thing. I mean, this is literally a brand new industry that's just starting to pop off. That's just starting to come up. So like, I'm learning a lot of this as I'm going. But I'm trying to use my marketing knowledge and the experience that I have in the industry, so that we can streamline it. But just know, all the stuff that we've been talking about, I promise it's coming. If you guys haven't checked this out, to show you how committed we are to like the Snap-ons, we've actually added it to the website now, so you can see, oh, look, the AI callbot workflow that we're working on. That's coming soon. That we're working on this stuff. We're adding it to the website. We're starting to market and advertise it as well, so that our visitors can see what we're doing, all this stuff that's going on. So I promise we got a lot of cool things coming. Make sure that you're engaging. make sure that you're hanging out with us because we're about to like turn the notch off, turn the heat up on all the stuff we're doing as well. So thanks for hanging out with me today, though. You guys are all awesome. I appreciate all of you being here. Hope you have an amazing rest of your Thursday. Go out and make a ton of money for me and for you, and then tell me about it because I love seeing you guys win. Have a great rest of your day, and we will see you.